Its current iteration is a product that processes video of crowds to pull out data from that video. So that data can take a lot of forms. We can look at the sentiments, the emotions displayed on the faces of the people in the crowd. We can look at the age, the gender, the ethnicity of the people in the crowd, and then correlate that to the audio file that's also pulled out from the video. So the idea came out of a startup weekend here in Fairbanks, and we were fascinated by face detection and facial recognition technology, and it all kind of falls under the header of computer vision. That's computers understanding how to see, how to pull information out of images. Getting up on stage and pitching our idea, and we had refined our pitch somewhat by then, was a very, very cool experience. And we were lucky enough to have a prototype that Vince, my other co-founder, was able to show the judges, and people love that, right? People love being able to actually see the product that's being made and engage with it a little bit. We divvied up the money and used most of it to invest in the business. And let's see, part of it was for travel expenses, part of it was for cloud compute expenses. So our product, we're running on the cloud, and we use an enormous amount of processing time on the Google Cloud platform. So processing time being not just storage like on Google Drive, but cores, chips.
And the biggest thing that we learned is the customer discovery process, and that, Eric Soley had done that initially, but there were some mistakes that were made in that process, because whenever you give anyone your idea, they don't want to crush it, because it's a cute little fluffy baby. That's what we're currently doing right now, is doing a lot of customer discovery to validate that our idea is actually needed by the market and not just a interesting and cool idea that people get excited about. The plans for the next year are to finish the customer discovery phase, figure out who our first focused target market is, and then to develop that product. And once we develop that product, we are then going to target that market with a wide-ranging marketing campaign and hopefully sell a lot of product.
The advice that I would have for anybody looking to compete at Arctic Innovation Competition for this year is, first of all, just go for it. It's a little bit intimidating. There's an application you have to fill out. There's a bunch of people you've got to get up in front of and pitch to. And there's no getting around the fact that that's intimidating. It can be really scary. But it's also a hugely valuable experience. A huge thing to me is, after Startup Weekend and Arctic Innovation Competition, we went on to compete in business model competitions and so on throughout the state over the past several months. And I got a huge amount of practice pitching, which is super valuable, and a lot of external validation. But learning how the market is going to respond to your product, if you want to build a valuable business, you have to get outside of pitch mode. You have to get out and talk to customers, learn the customer discovery process, and build a process that your business can run through in order to test your product in the market before you start spending hundreds of thousands of dollars developing something that may or may not work.
So my advice, as not having competed in it myself, is that you should really look for a good team. There's a lot of advice about finding that customer fit and not pitching and all that, but there's not very much advice about how do you actually do that. The best resource we found has a funny name, but it's a very great resource. It's called The Mom Test by Rob Fitzpatrick, and anyone looking to really do the customer discovery process right should read that book.